Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. I want to talk about park model homes and tiny homes here just for a second here this morning. Now, listen to me. It's no secret that if you've been listening to me for any length of time, that I advocate living debt-free, not participating in the system, and taking as much out of the system as you can possible while putting very little back in. In other words, investing in yourself, because everything that we do, every single thing we do in this country, some government bureaucrat is going to figure out a way to regulate, to take away just natural, normal freedom and liberties from just individuals who just simply don't want to participate in this Ponzi scheme. And now what we have today is that a lot of people are seeing these inflated real estate prices in homes. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I build homes. And the amount of money in building materials for a simple home. Everybody's figuring out we don't need to keep up with the Joneses. We do not need a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 square foot home in order to be happy and to live happy. So as a result, there's a movement that has come along, because we're not going to continue to keep propping up this system by all these inflated mortgages. You pay $120,000 for a home, and then over a 15 or 30-year term, you're going to end up paying $300,000 and $400,000 for that home just in interest alone. And of course, the grand scheme here in America is becoming a homeowner. Now, who indoctrinated you? Who put that mess in you? You can have a nice home, but if you don't have love in the home, what good is the home? It's just a building, just nothing but 2x4 sticks with sheetrock and insulation. Of course, there's the vanity. That people like, all the stuff that comes with it and is involved in homes and stuff. But a lot of people have figured out that it's a scheme. It's a literal scheme. And so there's been a revolution for people to not live like, this American dream has become a nightmare, to not live like they have told us that we should live. And most people are opting out. And now they're buying park model homes. Of course, it's not too long before the bureaucrats are right behind you with regulations telling you what you can and what you cannot have, as if they are really, truly interested in your best interest. No, they're not. They're not interested in your best interest. What they are interested in is regulating you, making your life oppressive, making up all these rules and stuff and calling it the law. And it's very unlawful because they're interfering with your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And of course, a lot of blacks in the ministry here and all over the place who are seeking to buy land, they're finding it very difficult because these real estate agents, I'm going to catch them too. We watch this here. I'm going to catch one and make an example out of them. When they come to find out that you want to purchase land, there's one thing to see you over the phone. But then all of a sudden, when they see you in person and they see the color of your skin, all of a sudden, they start to, we've got a buyer. You need to tell them to show you. The home is already for sale. I'll give you an example. Down the road here was 5 acres and with a double wide trailer on it. All right, I'm going to show you something. So I know what racism and discrimination is here in Tennessee. And they had that thing listed for $70-something thousand. I went over there. I looked at it. I put an offer down on the table of $65,000. All right. Now, my figures are close. Okay. All right. They did not even send it to the bank for rejection. They just said, well, they're not going to take it. They're not going to take it. I told them send it to the bank. They never did do it. All right. They keep playing around, but I'm telling you, I'm going to get one day I'm going to end up suing somebody and becoming rich just off of, or not rich, but maybe well off just because of the shenanigans that people play. So anyway, a little time lapse and everything. Mind you, I had $65,000 offer on that particular land and home. All right. All of a sudden, the home sells for $52,000, but it wasn't to me. Amazing, isn't it? I want to make an example out of some of these people up here, some of these racist people. That is no big deal, no problem. But I'm just trying to show you something. Is that there's discrimination in this area. And then if you choose to actually have a tiny home or a park model home, they already are making regulations against that for you living simple, because everybody is finding out that we don't need all this stuff, and we do not need all this space, and we do not need all this land in order to live comfortably. Because after all, where are you going to pay for it when every job in America has to do with service sector jobs to where you're making under $30,000 a year? Oh, I tell you, it's getting increasingly difficult and bad out there. It really, truly is. So, in these tiny homes, you can have a 400 or 500 square foot home. And myself and the brethren, we could build a 400 or 500 square foot home from top to bottom. That means doing every single thing, or I should say from bottom to top, doing every single thing, making it totally livable. It'll be small, but they have all the amenities and everything you need in it. We could build that thing in 1 month period of time. We could. And I'm talking about everything. The problem is this, is that you have to find a piece of land. And then you have to use wisdom when dealing with these realtors. Because a lot of these places, I don't care how country, how rural, and how remote that it is, they want to keep certain demographics out of these areas. Yeah, they do. And I'm telling you, they have dealt with us, and they'll continue to deal with us very wisely. But happiness is what should be paramount. Above that is a relationship with the Most High Yah. That should be paramount. You don't need all this room stuff and amenities in order to make life comfortable. Some of you, that is your downfall, because you are so soft that if there ever come a natural disaster, a catastrophe, or EMP, a world without rule or law, you don't know how to cope at all. You simply don't know how to cope. You don't know how to cope. And most of you wear so much of your feelings and emotions on your sleeves right here that if somebody had to just get in your face and tell you exactly how it is, you would just literally lose your mind. So people are opting out to go right back into the system rather than to try to come out and rough it and actually really truly be free. But you better be sure that this world does not like releasing you from its grips. And so now they're making regulations against park model homes because you're not on somebody's land paying taxes, and tiny homes. I'm telling you, it's getting increasingly difficult. Like I said before, I used to tell people you need to get 20, 30, 40 acres and stuff. I'm telling, if you're going to be an individual family and stuff, you better off for trying to find you 2 or 3 acres somewhere remotely, and then trying to do your best to live off grid. There's a lot of things that I simply have learned over the years that if I had the opportunity to do it all again, I would just simply do things different. Reason being is because wisdom. I had certain people in front of me that could show, okay, you do this, do this, do this, and do this when you look at what's going on. But now that I'm here, I would advise people totally different, and I do advise people totally different. And I tell you, because you don't need to follow what they say in order to live in this world debt-free and happy. Well, one thing you need is good relationships with trustworthy, honorable people. That's what you need. And that's becoming even more increasingly difficult to find, because people are just simply not men or women of their word today. Used to be your word was your bond. Don't have it today. Now we got people that want to saddle themselves part of you and stuff. And you don't know nothing about these people. You don't know nothing about them and stuff. But I would tell you, test, prove, and try everything. That's what I would do. But it's sad what's going on today. The system is upset because we're not going out and getting a bunch of these hefty mortgages. That's the problem. They're upset. It's sad in this evil world what we have to deal with. But if I was you, I'm going to give you advice again. Find your piece of land, save up Federal Reserve notes, Start gathering building materials at a remote location. And then when you get the opportunity, you find some good, hardworking brethren. Y'all build that thing. Get that thing built and stuff. And guess what? You won't believe how much of a soundness of mind you would have when you wake up in the morning knowing that you don't have to pay a $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month mortgage. What you have may be little, but it's yours.